What's up, everyone? Welcome to On the Rocks. I'm your trail guide, Claudia Collins, and I'm taking you along for my adventures as I check hikes, waterfalls, and other outdoor activities off of my Arizona bucket list. Today we're going to the Tonto Natural Bridge State Park in Pine, Arizona. The hike to the natural bridge is 1.4 miles long with 291 feet of elevation gain, and it's rated difficult. The Tonto Natural Bridge has been on my bucket list for so long, and today just felt like the perfect day to do it. It's getting a little bit hot in Phoenix, and I just wanted to get away. So what better time to come and explore this out in Payson, Arizona? The park rangers advised that we take the Gowan Trail counterclockwise for the best overall experience. Combined with the other trails, I expected this would be an easy little trek. I love coming up to the Payson area during the summer because it's the ideal escape and it's just so green and lush out here. The Natural Bridge has been on my bucket list since moving back to Arizona. I can already hear the water. However, it's not pet friendly, so we had to leave Mia behind today, but I'm sure she'll understand. The decline down gave me a glimpse of how steep this trail may actually feel at times, but the views were already immaculate. As we descended, I started to hear the water close by, and I was already able to see the natural bridge from the distance. This first part of the trail is so serene and doesn't feel like we're only an hour and a half away from the hustle and bustle of downtown Phoenix. As we approach the natural bridge, we also approach a not-so-natural bridge. Before climbing up the steps, I decided to enjoy the shade and cool creek down below. Now we head up the steps to get a closer look at the bridge and make our way under it. But first, it's time for some really fun facts. The Tonto Natural Bridge is the largest known travertine bridge in the world. Depending on the time of year, you may catch the beautiful light waterfall too. The Natural Bridge sits at 183 feet high over a 400-foot long tunnel, meaning there is a lot of space for some fun exploration down below, which is exactly what we came here for. I was stunned when I first laid eyes on the Natural Bridge and made my way into the tunnel. No picture or video I'd seen of the bridge had ever done it justice. When I first thought about doing this hike, I was thinking, how can a 1.5 mile hike be rated hard? But honestly, it's pretty steep and pretty slippery. But there's some awesome places to swim on the south side. Really like the bridge overlooking the Natural Bridge. And the Natural Bridge offers some amazing shade. You can feel the water spraying on you and cooling you down. And I think I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy it for a little bit. One of the things I didn't anticipate at all was feeling like I was in a light rain shower. Throughout the tunnel, you could feel the misty drops of water falling from the bridge. All of this was unlike anything I'd ever experienced before, and I've hiked a lot, so that's really saying something. As you climb through the tunnel, there's various pools of water with some really beautiful and shiny rocks that are also very slippery, so take your time as you climb around. And follow the arrows to make sure you're not accidentally entering any restricted areas. And see what I mean? I'm in a tunnel and it's raining. The sound of rushing water was very calming, and I found myself wanting to sit around in different spots instead of quickly hiking through. The park was very busy this Saturday morning, but I found that everyone was very respectful. So as a reminder, make sure to leave no trace on every hike you do. Although some areas below the bridge have deep pools of water, visitors are not permitted to do any swimming under the bridge, as tempting as it may look. But the water is really cold anyways. The final stretch leaving the tunnel was very slick and steep. I was taking my sweet time being as careful as possible. But once I made it out of the bridge, I knew there was still a little bit more climbing to do. My final thoughts on this hike as we approach the end: it's worth every cent. And by that I mean the $7 per person it costs to get into the park. I think I could have spent all day here, but I had empanadas from Pie Bar down the street in Strawberry on my mind. The final incline had me earning those empanadas too. And here we are at the end of the trail. This was more of a workout than I thought it would be, but it's definitely worth coming out to this area, buying a day pass, and coming out and enjoying the Tonto Natural Bridge. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time on The Rocks.